Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the grand final of the Oversalt tournament of the 27th of April, with the special meaning that it's Masters to Top 500, and the prize for the first place is 120 euros. I'm Alenvil, one of your casters today, and with me is Yokai. Hello, Yokai.
Hey, Alenvil, how you doing, man?
I'm doing fine. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm a little bit annoyed that my team isn't in this match right now. You know, Team Wavy. We had a good run, knocked out in the semifinals by the team standing before you, Dramatic Gaming. So these guys are definitely not a team to shake your head at.
No, they're definitely not. And I would say even Washed Brotherhood, I saw their first match or their semifinal match. They weren't playing that bad. They played a bit of an interesting way with the double sniper that they played out mainly through both maps, and they did quite good with it.
Yeah, Double Sniper is a very interesting composition against meta because a big part of Dual Sniper is making multiple decisions or making a decision to be made, such as the direction which you want to shield from. Do you want to shield from the Widowmaker, who is more likely to maybe be a bit more accurate, or do you want to shield away from the Hanzo, who will put down a lot more damage in the long term? And if you can't shield both at the same time, so you've got to make a decision quickly. But that's why Double Sniper on points like Junkertown or some other points in the game, they're actually a very strong comp to even take down the Goats comp, because you can only shield from one direction.
Yeah, and well, we aren't going into the map where they pulled out the double sniper, which was Gibraltar for the payload part, but we're going into Route 66 for this one, so this could be actually quite interesting, to be honest, because we know Route 66 is a bit of a special map lately in the meta, that there are some comps in there that aren't that normal or usual before the patch changes, but now they are quite nicely played here often.
Yeah, Route 66, especially first point, being one of the first points in the game that we actually saw Windstrike pull out this quad DPS composition way back in Korean Contenders a few seasons ago. But within the last few patches and such, we've actually seen a lot more triple DPS and quad DPS compositions with the Wrecking Ball. So if either of these teams decide to utilize the Wrecking Ball and utilize these DPS compositions, I think that we could see a little bit more than Goats, especially considering that triple DPS actually does a very good job of dealing with that Reinhardt and Zenyatta Goats comp.
Yeah, and now both teams get finally a chance, and oh, they're going once again. Washed Up Brotherhood did like to pull out the Batiste, and it looks like they're going for that one once again.
Batiste, of course, having that ability known as the Immortality Field. It's a very long cooldown, I believe it's 20 seconds, but at the same time, it's as the name suggests, it stops your team from dying. It gives you immortality. Burst damage is pretty much nullified within that, albeit you do drop to about 10 or 20% of your health. But, that can be a very big factor, especially against Chico on that Widowmaker, who I am very excited to see back in Overwatch.
Yeah, definitely. He is pretty exciting. Let's see if he can do a lot with that one. They're just waiting for the setup. No, they're switching around even. They're not even pulling that one out.
Actually going to play a Sombra Tracer here, so they're looking to maybe get a hack or build this EMP, which when they're playing grouped up like this and the Batiste wants you to play, that's very good if you can build the EMP. However, I will keep an eye on Strafeness as well, just because he's going to be looking to hook out that ace when he's trying to build up his EMP, and they're going to dive straight in actually right now.
Well, they're going in and the fight is just breaking out. The D.Va loses the mech first there, and it looks like right now they're holding quite nicely on top as the defending team. They haven't lost any victims. Now they even get out the baby D.Va with that one. And the Mortality Field is being displayed, and not really anybody's in that much of danger, but the payload's still moving forward, so they do have to keep their awareness up for that one after Fan takes out that ace. And we see the Winston pushing forward, still not getting the pressure in I think he wants to. And Chico's now going in down there, but they're still not getting picks, and they got another pick, and now even the door is open so they can get some more damage out, but there's not really much they can do with that.
Yeah, I think if anything, you really don't want to use the amplification matrix there. Usually, especially within Goats, one of the biggest things was that you wouldn't really have a use for amplification matrix, but in a comp like this, where your snipers are ones putting down damage, you're going to be shooting through a direction. That amp matrix could well have, won them a fight on its own with the, double damage that it does. But now Chico coming on the pulse bomb. They also have the primal rage and the nano boost to accompany with that, and that ace isn't too far from an EMP, so that could be a bait engage, and that's a huge pick.
That was a great play there. They hacked the Ashe and just pulled her out, knocked her out, and right now there is the rest when it did go out, so they do have another person there, and right now the fight is just bringing out nice EMP there, and let's see how they can handle this one right now. They're getting pressured quite nicely, but right now not many people are dying, even though the EMP was popped there. Now they do get the pulse bomb on 2 people, both tanks are gone, and this is a 1 fight for Dramatic.
Chico coming in. I mentioned him before the round on that Widowmaker, not on the Widowmaker, but rather on the Tracer with that huge play. A double kill on both tanks of the side of the defense here, and yeah, that's what I was talking about with that EMP. You know, comes through, it completely shuts down all of the abilities on that side. Oh, that's a interesting pick. I don't think it'll really do too much considering they're still pushing through the door. But actually, never mind. They're going to push right up to the doorway here.
Yeah, I think they just want to take advantage of what they have already, and the fight is just not really breaking up, but the ult advantage right now is on the side of them, and the Winsor just goes in, the Drag Strike goes out, gets eaten instantly, and Chico finishes off We Fin for that one as well. And right now Dramatic Gaming is getting another advantage. They got another pick off there, and it just looks like they're not finding the targets they want right now, and Washed Brotherhood goes down once again.
This is basically the unstoppable force makes the immovable object, if you think of it that way, with a dive comp that works very well with engaging on targets from range and you know, maneuvering while they engage, compared to a team that really wants to stand still. So it is really that kind of battle right now. But they're going to build up close to another EMP, and they still have the nano boost as well, which will probably go on to Astus here on that Winston. However, they do have the Amp Matrix, and that's a great hook to start.
And now they're going into the fight. There is the nano boosted Winston who's in there, the immortality field. Chico gets a pick off on Dollarfan, who switch over to McCree and can stop the Tracer, unfortunately, in that case. And Dollarfan gets rest up once again, but unfortunately there's another target dying. Now the supercharge gets popped down. Hades gets a pick off there. This could be their chance, but unfortunately everybody's just breaking down, and that is the second point for Dramatic Gaming.
Dramatic really forcing these sightlines. Obviously, the amplification matrix is the key part of this bunker comp that Watch Brother are running, but at the same time, immortality field is actually it's line of sight. So while it is also area of effect, if you break line of sight with it, you're not going to get the effects of it, and that's what they're doing. They're forcing them out of the position with boops and with knockback, and that's really making it hard to utilize it.
Well, the MP goes out once again, the D.Va bomb is there as well, and that is one pick off, and the Goats lineup gets instantly stopped in the track with 2 tanks already gone in that direction. Since we're going the real old school comp, right now it doesn't really look up for the Wash Brotherhood there. They lose the D.Va mech as well, and the D.Va closely after that one.
That was a beautiful EMP. You know, you kind of didn't see much coming from that D.Va bomb until the EMP came, but as soon as that came, the main tank drops. Hades could do nothing about that nade, and they have another nano boost now along with the sound barrier to accompany it, so they could be building up to these ultimates very quickly, even though they've just swapped.
Yeah.
Oh.
Those anti-heals are deadly right now that they're just putting on there, and Astros gets another pick off on the Brigitte there in that case, and they're just pressuring back and forth. Now they're nano boosting even the Zarya, and she's just obliterating them with her high percentage charge there as well. And there is nothing that can stop this rail right now. Hades charges in, but unfortunately he'll be the next victim, as it looks like the Coalescence gets popped. There is now a bit of a breathing room that they can take. If they can find a pickup here, they could actually do something. The D.Va pump goes down, the rally gets popped as well, and oh, Watery goes down and the point gets claimed.
That was a absolutely huge bio grenade coming out from Danny B there. He hit, I think it was 4 members, and one of those was the main tank of Hades. So as a result of that, he couldn't get healed. There was no bubble available for him either, and he was just rolled over by the damage that could go through the shield of Astus on the Winston. But not all is lost for Wash Brotherhood. They did stall out a little bit on point A, which means that they can absolutely get a faster time bank, especially if they come out strong with a good point A here. But let me ask you a question here, Alenvil, actually. What would you say the key factor for Dramatic would be for shutting down here?
I would say actually try to get, for example, Froky Dude was and Danabi were, for me, the most important parts for that one, because I felt like the supports were never pressured in any way, shape, or form, and that gave Asters and Dr. Fence the most of time just to move forward and just pressure off the enemy team the whole time, and Diana was a pretty big pick the whole time in that fight there.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree with the supports being a very big factor there. Specifically, as you mentioned, the Ana. Like, there was almost no pressure on supports the whole time, and that's what Ana thrives with. The reason you usually don't pick an Ana in GOATs is just because, you know, D.Va's defense matrix can completely nullify almost her entire kit. So if you're not getting shut down and you can get the value, like Danny B was getting, then if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And they really did nothing to break it to begin with, so nothing was needed to be fixed. There is me playing these Zenyatta here, so they're actually, yeah, 2-2-2 bunker. Hanzo Ash, the double sniper again.
And on the other side, we see Zenyatta dive Goats line up there with the Zenyatta there as well. So it could be kind of interesting if they can break the bunker there and they go instantly in and just get backed off. They have another chance towards the station, but right now I'm not sure if this lineup can actually break what's up there.
I think they'll have a very good chance, but they need to time their pressure jumps to the high ground. With that being said, look at that Ace's ult charge already.
Yeah. That Ace has a great ult charge there. They're going up, they're trying to break the high ground, but not really getting much out of that one. And that Ace is already at 99%. There could be a Bob jumping up soon at that one. And there he is! And he's just wailing on everything he can find and doing some good damage there. Now they're forcing them even on to focus the Bob down, and that is actually a win in my eyes, even for Dramatic Gaming at that point. The fight is still breaking out. The Valkyrie is even popped now. That's a bit surprising in my eyes, right? That they even had to pop the Valkyrie. The Sound Barrier goes out. The Dragon Strike goes out. Gets a good hit on the payload. Doesn't really take anybody down, but does force them a bit out. The fight is still breaking out. That Ace gets watery for that one, so there's a chance. The D.Va bump goes out. Can it take any victims there? No, it can't. Froky Dude gets a pick off on Dollar Fan, and now the Transcendence is out as well, and the fight is just going messy and messy for every second, and this ultimate banquet is just keeping going on. Now the Supercharger is even brought into play there, and Watery gets a pick off there, and perhaps they can finally get some more push on here.
The problem there was, although Dramatic was getting the picks of Watch Brotherhood had managed to get all of the remaining members of Dramatic to such low health that Asters and Dr. Fence could just fly in, just do minute amounts of damage and still get those final kills. And now they're actually at a very good ult advantage coming up on their Graviton, and I think they were very close to Strafen's D.Va bomb as well.
Well, 50%, really. Yeah. That's the tricky thing just with D.Vas. That is just, if she's in baby D.Va form, you just don't know. There goes the D.Va bump now for Dramatic Gaming. Can they get anything off with that? No, but they push them off the payload. The whole team moves onto the point, so now it gets a bit messy, especially since the door is now closed in on the other side as well. They're just getting more pressure for Watch Brotherhood is looking for an opening to finally take somebody down. Hades is putting some pressure. Strafeness loses the mech there to Dana B once again, unfortunately. And now the Transcendence is even forced out, so this could be a chance right now for Dramatic. And there goes the Graviton. Can they take advantage of that? Yes, they can. Get 2 picks off with that one, and now Watch Brotherhood has to retreat, but they're losing members one after another. The Winston is still alive, but not for long.
I know that Hades is Primal Rage, but he has to make the swap to the Reinhardt here. You're not going to break that choke with a Winston. On top of that, even when you're forced to play with Winston, he is going to make that swap, as I say. You don't want to be jumping in without your Primal. You want to be playing around high ground, playing around safe spots, because once you use that jump, you're a very big target and a very easy target for Goats to speed on and take you out, and that's what we saw there. Although the side of Watch Brotherhood are going to have that Graviton D.Va bomb combo and a Sound Barrier as well to counteract this Shatter, so could be a very big play if they come in here quick.
Yeah, we see them moving in. Hey, there is now the Graviton. They did it, and the D.Va bomb is there as well, and they still get 1 kill through the Transcendence, so that's something. Dr. Fence loses the mech as well, and the fight is still breaking up, but Asters gets a 2 picks off there. Strafeness now stops Asters from rampaging further, but he did the damage he needed to do, and Mr. Gibson is still on the payload, and he doesn't have a chance to push it forward.
I don't know how Watch Brotherhood don't win that fight there. They need to stack up better. They're getting split up way too easily. even when they were winning fights, they were very, very separated. And in Goats, you know, that Lucio's there for a reason. You want your entire team getting the effects of that amp and that aura. Well, now they're even fighting into a Graviton and a Diva Bomb of Dramatic's own, and they have the sound barrier as well. So they're in a great position to get rid of Sir Gibson's Transcendence and still win out a fight here.
Yeah, and that's what a lot... And even they could even launch it into the Transcendence, because as we know, the Transcendence doesn't grant immortality, it just gives you a lot of heal, and if you just die to the Diva Bomb, still a chance there. But it's funny how they're fighting right now. There's the grab, there's the Diva Bomb, Transcendence is now popping, 2 are gone there, as I just mentioned there. And we just see another victim there, and that is a retreat now for them.
Oh, they can get stagger onto Sir Gibson as well. That's massive if they can get this. Oh, he just gets out. Okay, but what we just saw there was just a textbook combo. Dr. Fen sending in the bomb, that A sending in the grab, and then the pin coming in from Asters. Textbook, clean, beautiful, 2 kills, 1 fight. And now, look at the ult economy. They have 4 ultimates to withstand this next push, in which they only really have an Earthshadow to come online, unless really Dolophan can build this quickly. And they have both support ultimates, even if that does happen as well. So they're in a very good position to hold this for at least another fight. Yeah,
and as I say, another fight. We're at the 1 minute count for the attack right now from Wash Brotherhood, and Hades gets stunned up. They do have to use the shield, so he Earth Shatters gets Chico with that one. But oh, that was a great answer there, and you just see how they just try to take advantage of that, but it was right now a 1-for-1 trade just there. Oh, there is another pick off there, but they're just trading 2 for 2 right now, and that's not really how you want to get. Dr. Fence goes down the mech there. They get the payload a bit moving, so they do have a chance to get a bit more out of this one. They get it, the baby Diva as well, so they're finding advantages now. They even get Acer and Froki dude, so they did get a few staggers, and they're going on to the point another one dies.
They had no right to win out that fight. They got 1-for-1 trades throughout, which usually favors the defensive side, but turns out spawns came back and picks came through, and they ended up getting that. And now, they have the Graviton and Diva Bomb combo. Yes, on the side of Dramatic, they also have it, but they can hold this. They can go for a counterplay here, counter grab, and that could really win them this fight. They're going to have a chance to.
There's the grab. Both grabs. Diva Bombs are out. Oh, and Dr. Fence gets a 3K there. And now even the Earth Shatter, and that should crush the dreams right now for Washed Brotherhood on Route 66.
Huge play coming out from Dr. Fence and the rest of Dramatic Gaming. Fantastic play, and overall, they deserve that map. That was a very well thought out defense as well. And although their point A defense was not as strong as maybe the point A defense of the side of Wash Brotherhood, they did have the oh, this is huge. They had a much stronger point B defense. Holding very early on, punishing the Winston play and that tight choke, and overall, they just had a very solid defense on that map. And I think that was a very well practiced point for them.
Yeah, and as you said, they split them up. You saw in between as soon as the doors closed that they forced Washed Brotherhood onto both sides of the doors there. So they had to split up, and then they were kind of screwed up because they couldn't really do a pincer with what was on each side, and the Goats comp just ran on one side and took out everybody on the other one.
And that often comes down to like how Goats matchups are played, really. You play to force the enemy team into a mistake, most option of which is usually that separation. And like I say, that is what we saw happening to the side of Wash Brotherhood. So if they can, keep their stacking up calls where you all group up on the same target, if they can keep those calls on point and they can keep their positioning on point, and just making sure that they keep an eye on their entire team and their supports and stuff, and keeping the pressure on the enemy at the same time, they can definitely turn this around and pull the series back in their favor.
Yeah, and it's just 1 down now. They still have, technically they have still at least 1 out before they're set in match point, so they can do a lot with this still, since it's still our best of 5. It's, I think, one of the last ones that Oversalt will have for now. But we see them just doing quite nicely right now, and we see right now on the side of Wash Brotherhood, we see the Sombra Goats line up against another Sombra. No, not exactly the Sombra Goats lineup, but Chico could switch around there.
Yeah, Chico, he has a very large fondness for playing around with the fans, playing around with viewers, and overall just having fun when he plays. So he may actually stick with us Widow and maybe get a few pot shots for us over the wall there. But we'll have to see. On the defense though, we see Dollarfan on this Sombra, so he's looking to answer the grouping nature of goats with an EMP or just some hacks onto the front line, which could really mess up the days of Dramatic Gaming. And they don't actually know yet. They don't know he's there.
Yeah, but the problem is right now they're in a bit of a disadvantage. It's now a 6v5, and you just see them going in. Aster's getting some good damage in on all sides, and right now the Zenyatta is already down, so that is not what you want to have to happen. And now we see the Brigitte just getting focused down. Hades goes down as the next one, and the Sombra was a good idea, but the problem is that Dramatic wasn't playing around. They just went for the point and said, okay, if you have something we don't expect, we'll just run against that. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, that's one of the downsides of running the Sombra. You get the more impactful ultimate in the EMP, you get the better utility, but you remove a lot of your tank presence in that D.Va. And that's what happened there. You can't withstand the comp, so you have to kind of kite back, play a bit more passively, and well, when you're playing against Dramatic, they just like to barge in anyway, so they don't have a mind for your passiveness.
What? Why defend if you can attack?
Exactly. Oh, that's a great.
That is a really good pick. Sir Gibson answers that one, and right now it looks like they're gaining a bit of an advantage. They do have an EMP now. They do have the rally. We can see what they can do with that one. They just have to be aware what's on the other side, and that ult economy is not what I would love to fight into.
Although the EMP can completely withstand a 6.
That was a good EMP there. And as soon as the rally started, so the shields are gone instantly that the rally just built up, and I love how they're just going for this. I think they should start backing up now, otherwise they're going into a dangerous location there.
With that being said, though, you've got to think the EMP is in a way a very hard old economy reset, because if you look at the side of Dramatic now,
yeah,
coming up on the remaining 2 ultimates, giving them 5 in this next fight. And Danny B was actually hand hacked there. He wasn't EMP'd. Oh, it's a big hack though.
Nice. That is a really good hack. Earth Shatter is out there. The Graviton is going out as well. The Transcendence answers that one, and we see another hack on the Reinhardt, and he gets out of the hack and instantly Earth Shatters. That was a really good one. There was a bit of miscommunication. Now we have the Sub Bear as well. The D.Va Bomb goes out. Can they stay? The teammates, yes, everybody survives that one as well, and we just see Dramatic just trying to plow forward, but nobody's really dying. Hades is so close to dying and still living through everything. Now the Madman charges in and finally gets put to his end, and Watery goes down as well.
The crucial part is, though, they got every single ultimate out, and now Dollarfan and Strafness are both coming up on their ultimates here as well. Strafness can get out here with his charge, that would be all huge as well, and he's going to, actually, so not all is bad here, and Dramatic are going to have a very unfavorable fight with no support ultimates and an EMP to fight into.
Yeah, this could be quite dangerous, depending on how Danabi, I would say, hits his shot right now, because he's at 84%, so that's something to keep an eye out for the next fight, and he's now at 95%, so they could have a support ult for that one, and they get the Graviton out there, they get the counter, and oh, there goes the MP. Now they have to just go forward, just take some victims, but the Transcendence came out as well, and right now it looks like it's still an advantage here for Dramatic, and they even ate the Graviton, so that one is gone out of the books anyway, and now they're just taking victims left and right.
I cast a curse them. I cast a curse them so hard. When you have that EMP and you know that the enemy, it's fair to assume that there's some good ult trackers on these teams. They're gonna know what ultimate economy the enemy team roughly has, and you know the enemy has those big tank crowd control ultimates. You have to be pushing that hard. You have to be EMPing them early. You can't play it patiently, because that's your win condition in fights. A big EMP, a big Graviton, and they just didn't push it.
Yeah. But now the rallies are popped on both sides, and both sides are just running in. The Sunfire is even popped now, and Hades is down already, so that is an Earth Shatter that's just gone from their cards. And you see, Asters is already looking for some opening right now. You just saw how he was positioning. He was looking for something to just shatter the whole team out of that one, but he didn't really get that one. But I feel like that's a good patience there as well. And right now they're holding on. The last point is met. There is now the sound barrier going out for Dramatic. They're going in. The MP is once again popped. The shatter is there, and they get one victim. They get the Diva mech. They're getting a few picks, and now they save themselves for a bit right now.
That is crucial play. Mainly because Watery used the sound barrier and Sir Gibson did not have his Transcendence, and that ace was ahead of him in ult charge. If that ace was able to get the Graviton off, then Sir Gibson would not be able to answer it, and it would likely just be a free team wipe for the side of Dramatic. The EMP came through, Sir Gibson was able to build up the last percent, and now they have a good chance of holding the next push through this Graviton.
Graviton Diva Bomb coming in once again, and oh, there goes another victim. The Transcendence can't save you from that one. And now the snowballs just keep on rolling. Sir Gibson is now, unfortunately, the last victim. The payload's moving forward. Can somebody get in there before something happens? But Dollar Fan won't be the one. The Wrecking Ball rolls in, but he's not getting on there, and he doesn't reach the point.
The tank trio of Dramatic reject Tranquility. That's what we've come to learn today. They completely reject any form of healing and any form of peace. They just want complete and utter war.
Well, it's hard to be tranquil while you get a Diva Bomb thrown at you.
Yeah, I tend to find that nuclear weapons aren't exactly the most tranquil things on planet Earth.
Yeah, yeah, and that's the thing that as I said, that's the thing. Some people forget that the Transcendence doesn't make anybody invulnerable except the Zenyatta, and everybody else can die to a Diva Bomb.
One thing I've actually seen teams doing recently on the topic of Transcendence not making you invulnerable is if you know the enemy is coming up on that big Graviton Diva Bomb combo and you don't have a Transcendence of your own, or a defensive ultimate of your own, should I say, teams will actually swap out their flex support in GOATs to a Batiste, and they'll try and use the amplification matrix to deal with that rather than a Transcendence or a sound barrier, which takes a while to charge.
Yep.
Usually coming on second points of assault maps and such, but if you're at an ult disadvantage, it can be a very good tool to just stall out the economy.
Yeah, that's definitely something that, and I feel like that's one of the things that he's thought for, because this Diva Bomb is just one of the more dangerous things that you can actually just get hit by in the GOATs lineup, and that kind of cancels it out. Otherwise, Baptiste doesn't make that much sense in GOATs, because I feel like that doesn't really use his kit as much as it could, and right now we just see both teams just going GOATs.
Do you see the Dr. Fence playing the Sombra? So they actually want to mirror what the side did, and this is what you want to do. You want to get hacks early. You want to get these this ult charge early. You don't want to wait.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to wait. They're going in, and I like how Finn is going into the backline, gets the Zenyatta for a bit, but unfortunately Hades is down in that moment already. That was a good play, but unfortunately they couldn't take advantage of that one. And I love what Sir Gibson is doing here already at 65% as an Ana.
This is what I wanted to see from Wash Brotherhood, though. What I am seeing from Dr. Fence, because he's making Hades' life so hard just by threatening the hack. He's not finalizing it, he's just right-clicking it, it's being blocked by the shield, but it's forcing Hades to turn around, and he can't put his entire attention to the front line, which means that, his team is having to do similar things, without him in the front line, and him being able to do damage.
Yeah, definitely, that's one of the things, and I feel like they're not spy-checking enough. Oh, there is the Nano. His right hand, unfortunately, gets earth-shattered as well. The Transcendence is out there as well. And there goes Hades. He hates this one, probably, and that is a one fight for Dramatic there.
Again, this is what I want to be seeing. You don't necessarily have to be playing so aggressive that you're pushing out a spawn, but you just want to be putting pressure on them, making sure they can't do anything for free, that they're going to suffer if they do try and engage on you. That's what Dr. Fence is doing behind. He's just constantly pressuring the hack. He's not even building much EMP, but just getting so much value just from that one ability.
And there's a Graviton. Let's see what they can do with that one. Unfortunately, it doesn't really do much damage. The rally is now forced out, and that Shatter, I'm not sure if that's what you want. And there's the MP, and that Shatter gets a good hit off there, and not even going for the Zarya, just instantly going for the Ana, and that is another team wipe there.
That was a beautiful combo. You know, they got shattered. They knew that ace was down, so they quickly made the decision to EMP shatter and save the entire team. Had that ace died there, they may have won that fight, but the upcoming fight would have actually been a disadvantage due to spawn position. And look at Froky Dude. Froky Dude knows they have EMP. He's hiding for it. He's waiting to come out and soundbar as soon as the EMP is used. So this will be big play if he can get it off.
Yeah, that's exactly. They're playing it so well here, and we see them moving. The EMP is out. Froky comes out, just
Beautiful.
hits the sound barrier, and there's the Graviton. Still, they're taking a lot of damage. The Transcendence, unfortunately, was a bit too late there. He couldn't get it earlier out because of the ult shot, and looks like it's going to go to Wash Brotherhood right now, the point, but at what cost?
At the cost of your main fight-winning ultimate is what? Look at the side of Dramatic as well. They have the Graviton. They're gonna have the Earthshatter coming up soon on top of this, and Froky Dude even gets strafeness on the way out. That should really force the Watch Brotherhood all the way back to spawn right now. You don't really want to take the fight without your Zarya.
Yeah, and that ace gets a pick there as well. And honestly, I love what Danavi did. He used the Transcendence and they switched over to the Ana, and now, okay, now we have a nano boosted Reinhardt. But what does it do for you? It was a good chatter, but what can you do with that? You're still in your spawn. The payload's not moving. It's honestly a win right now for Dramatic, even in that position.
But this is going to actually buy the side of Watch Brotherhood a lot of space because they spawn way closer. Watch Danny be here. He's actually going to take the high ground behind the corner and try and get a big bite of grenade behind him so you can get a good engage point. Because that's one of the harder parts of Sombra goes. You don't really have a point of engage. He's not scoping his scope either.
Ooh, EMP and just going in and causing chaos and havoc. 3 down already, 4 down. Number 5 goes down, and Watery is the only one to escape with his life. He can tell the tale to his fallen comrades.
Watery can now also tell his team that they have a bit of an extra. They're in a bit of a better ult fight here. So I actually got grab him early. This is good. I love this.
That forced out the sound barrier as well, so they do have an advantage. Jolifan gets a pick off, and Hades got Esther's there. Hades gets another pick on Danabi. They do get a bit of an advantage right now, but they do have to still be aware what could happen there. We see now them trying to hold on there, and another takedown. Chico goes down as well. The payload's finally moving forward, but it cost them a lot of time there.
A lot of time, but not a lot of ultimates. Look at that. They have 5 online right now. And that was beautiful. That was 1 fight, 1 ultimate, and Dr. Fence is going to get killed very late. Great hack coming up from Dolphin as well. Now, they may as well have this point unlocked because they're fighting a 5v6 and they have EMP. This is basically a 1 fight, and I don't think I'm even going to try and contest on side Dramatic.
I wouldn't try to contest that, to be honest, on Dramatic, and we just see they even used the EMP there, and the graph. That was a bit iffy, I would say, and right now we just see the nano boosted Hades, and it looks like the fight could turn around because the backline is just under pressure there. Hades finally comes back into there, but there is not really much, and that was a great shatter there to open up, and looks like Dramatic is not giving up this point. Hades goes down, and right now, I'm not sure what happened there. It was a bit of a misplay, and unfortunately, Dramatic pounced on that like nothing else.
There was 2 major things that lost them that fight. To start with, there was a very subpar EMP. Rather than EMPing in the center of the enemy, they only EMP'd the front line. But that also meant that the Reinhardt wasn't actually caught because he was delayed. The second part was the fact that that they actually stacked both of their tank ults. So, yes, they got the Graviton and the Shatter off, but they could both be nullified with a single tank ult. Oh no, Asterisk is caught.
Oh, great shatter there. They need to take advantage of this one. Strafeness gets that ace. Can they do more? Chico's dropping damage as well. Chico goes down. Asters is holding on. Froky Dude is getting some life back up. Dr. Fence goes down. Asters goes finally down. Dr. Fence sleeps on the point right now. Gets the mech there. Can they take out the Baby Diva as well? And they do get the second point. Now it's going to get really rough.
It's going to get rough, and they have a minute and 5 ultimates to push this with. Although, Froky Dude does have the sound barrier though, so
yeah,
who knows what he can do with that.
And they do have the Nano Boost as well, so they do have a bit of something, and they do have a D.Va Bomb now. The Grav is closing up right now. The Grav is already out. The D.Va Bomb is answering that one. The EMP goes out. Nobody gets really taken with that one. Sound Barrier gets dropped as well right now on both sides. So Strafe to takes on Extras. They're getting a chance. The Graviton goes out. Weefin is now trapped there on the side, but there's not really much to take out as a victim right now. Chico gets antied and almost dies there, and now falls to that one Danabe as well, and looks like they're buying a lease on their life right now on the side of Washed Brotherhood.
It took them all 5 ultimates, so now they're fighting into a rally, they're fighting into an Earth Shadow. Danabe is going to build this very quickly as well, so they may as well assume that they have Nano, because the amount of healing he's about to do is going to be insane. But they do have an extra chance here, they have 30 seconds to build this.
There goes a Shatter. Unfortunately, both Shatters didn't do that much this time right now. And right now we see Strafeness taking out Froki Dude, so they do have a... They did already get a kill off there. Unfortunately, they're not getting much out of this right now. The fight is just breaking out. And now that Ace takes down Watery, so one support ult. There is now a Nano Boost. Strafeness has a chance to do much with that one. Goes with the Graviton, just throws in and just hits it down. They had a Graviton, a Nano Boost, and a dream to take this point.
They did finish in overtime, though, so unfortunately they don't get a chance to attack the point again. However, they do have a chance to draw out the map and defend again, and they have a chance to redo what they did wrong on their first defense, and if they want to roll out with Dollarfan on Sombra again. So, we'll have to wait and see what they actually roll out with, but that was very great play from Strafeness coming out. You know, he had the Nano Boost on him, he built the rest of that Grav up, he put down a hell of a lot of damage, and he just overall... You know, that final fight was even until that Nano Boost.
Yeah, that was even to that point. And then the Grav, the Nano Dream came out, and then they at least claimed the point. And oh, now they're getting... I hope they go with this. This could get really interesting right now, what they're just throwing around.
This is actually a very strong composition that we started to see a lot more of, particularly the Torbjorn. You know, teams, I mentioned that Batista's way stronger when a comp is stationary. Well, that's what this composition plays around. It plays around Batista's Immortality Field to withstand any dives, and it plays around the Torbjorn and Bastion turrets respectively for its main damage source. But look on the offense here. They have quad DPS locked in at the minute with Chico on that Doomfist. So this could actually be a very, very good comp to run if this is what they roll out with.
Looks like they're really rolling out with this one, but honestly, I like the stationary comp, but you need so much coordination, and that was just a great dynamite throw there. Just got everybody up there. Now somebody needs to move down instantly right now because they can't give up a tick right now. They do catch up to Sombra, and Asus jumps up on the Junkrat trying to pressure this bunker comp out there on the side, putting in some damage. Weefin goes up to answer, but the Junkrat just wins out that one. Right now we have Strafeness onto the point. Strafeness is getting some good damage in on it. Watery barely survives. Dollarfan doesn't have that luck, but they do hit up the res. I feel like the position is almost perfect for them right now, but they have to be careful that they're too open right now. And they're just hunting the Bastion right now off of every situation they can. Dollarfan gets on Asterisk, so there is something to do with that, but Hades goes down as well. And right now it's just breaking down. Not really good. Dollarfan is doing his best to get some more picks out, but he needs to get onto the point, and that is it. Dramatic lead 2-0 already.
That was an interesting way to play from Dramatic, but it was also a very strong way to play, because usually the way you try and break down these Bastion comps is by pressuring away or completely force killing the Bastion. He's simply the main source of damage, and he's a lot of the time the centerpiece of the comp, but they played it very differently. They played it with different focuses in mind, and actually Dollarfan was left alive the entire fight, so definitely a different way of playing it.
Yeah, it was a different way to play it actually, and it helped them out quite a bit because they just had the chance to force him down. They had to force down a member just onto the point, and they had to try to stop the tick because they couldn't give up a tick. And we are going to go to the next map on Lijiang Tower. Right now we're going to look if the teams need a break, and it looks like they do want to take a break, so we'll be taking a slight break as well, and we see you guys in a few moments. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are still in the grand final of the Oversalt tournament with 120 euros prize on the line right now. We are heading into Lijiang Tower. I'm still Alenvil, and with me is still Yokai. Welcome back, Yokai.
$120, man. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money for these teams.
Yes.
Even if you were to break it up evenly to each player, that would be $20 per player. So I could buy my lunch with that.
That should be actually quite good lunch for $20.
Yeah, so $20 would buy me a lot of food. I'll be honest. Maybe even 2 lunches if I really budget. But we're back here. We're back on Lijiang Tower, heading into Gardens first. It looks like, and you know, this is a very interesting map, even among the Lijiang maps, simply because of the fact that a lot of teams will rarely run goats on this point. And even throughout Open Division, even throughout Contenders, we didn't see too much goats in this on this point. We saw a lot of triple and quad DPS comps, mainly taking advantage of that high skybox with the Pharah, everyone's favorite Rocket Queen.
And as you say that, we see Washed Brotherhood actually wanting to do that, and both sides are running. No, I was saying both sides, then I missaw something, but no, otherwise it's a 2-2-2 on the side of Dramatic Gaming, but on the other side it's a quad DPS.
We have a Hammond Diva. I have not seen a Hammond Diva in a long time. They're looking to really cause a lot of disruption. Are they going to do that straight away? Oh!
And the dollar pen goes down. That ace is dropping dangerously low there as well. Oh, that was a nice play from Chico there, taking down Watery in the air, just backing off there. And that is just Dramatic Gaming rolling over them with the Wrecking Ball.
They won that fight out before the point even unlocked. That's how fast that Hammond Diva called them off guard. And now you're going to see it. You're going to see a swap on the other side go to a more traditional 2-2-2 with a Winston Diva. Keeping the Onyx, keeping Dolphin on the Tracer as well. So they're going to be wanting to put down the damage with the Pharah and finish off the kills with a Tracer. That's the main goal of these this combat. Chico's going to actually be pressured out straight away though. He's going to drop very low.
Oh, that ace gets weaved in there, so that is another victim there, and the fight is just breaking out there. They're going in there. Great anti-heal. Froky dude barely survives that one, and meanwhile Watery gets a good res in the middle there. Dollarfan wins against Chico in that Tracer 1v1, and that is right now a one-out fight for the Washed Brotherhood.
That fight in general shouldn't, in my mind, have went to Washed Brotherhood. They you know, Watery didn't really have a good position for a res there. He resed right in the middle. He was anti-healed. Yep. That was good. And Dolphin are going to continue clean up. They're just going to try and stall out this point. I don't think anything's really going to happen. They do get Hag out the strafeness, so maybe.
Asters is dead. Dr. Fence is dropping dangerously low. Danaby takes down Weefin once again. That Strafeness now gets the pick off there, and Dollarfan went off the cliff, unfortunately. There's a Diva bump going down now. Can that do some damage? Oh, gets Asters with that one. The MP is now popped as well. And this is an all-out brawl right now. Chico goes down to the cliff as well, and that ace just wins off this fight for his team.
Big EMP, big 3k, and a fantastic support on Danaby to keep himself alive on Hades, who actually had Primal, and he wasn't able to get it off. Another 88%. That fight went on for so long. They're in the last fight right now. They have to touch the point.
Diva bump goes out. Oh, gets two with that one. The Pharmacy instantly goes down. The Winston is alone on the point. He has no real chance to claim anything. We're at 99%. He gets on there with the Primal Rage. Paytas gets one pick off there. Strafeness is there as well. But Sir Gibson isn't there to support the team. Unfortunately, that Pulse Bomb went awry there, and right now Hades is still holding on as good as he can. He's doing a good job. The Justice rains from above, but unfortunately the Umbrella gets spammed with the Defense Matrix, and they're still holding on, and it looks like 100-0, which doesn't even reflect how this map really went down.
This map was was back and forth, but the side of Dramatic just did a great job of stalling out the point while they got their ultimates online, and really that was textbook play coming up from them right there. But the side of Washed Brotherhood rejoice as we now go to Control Center, a much more standard, a much more defined map. The only real variation I think we'll see here is running a Mei or running a Diva. Although, as I say that, yep, we see one side running the Mei, one side running a Diva. So exactly as I said there.
Yeah, and I'm not. So honestly, would even say I wouldn't even run that right now as Wash Brotherhood. I would just try to run something wacky. Either you win this map and get to the third one, or you lose out straight and then you've just lost. So I would say if you have something in the pocket, just use it now.
This could well be their pocket though, because the way that this works is by separating them, and they do just that on a Danny B though.
Yeah, they got the first pick off there, but Asters gets a counter pick, and now it just looks a bit more grim there. They just trying to split up, but I feel like the Mei split up isn't really working now. The Mei is the focus fire for the enemy team. She goes down for that one, and they're just getting pressured out once again. Weefin gets a pick on Asters. The fight is still breaking out. Dramatic claims the point with that one. And right now, it's a bit of a weird situation. Both teams aren't really there, and they're just fighting. So Gibson gets a kill there, and they go on to the point and gets another one. This Inyada is not here for peace and everything. Hades just takes out Rocky Dude, and Dr. Fence falls into the Hammer Mace combo.
It seems like Sir Gibson is quite sick of so much harmony. He decided to use his Discord a lot more there, getting a good 2k. And yeah, he turned that around. But what we saw in the opening side of that fight, when Dramatic took the point, we've seen all series long. The side of Watery Brotherhood are so bad at keeping Hades alive.
Yeah, and right now that Graviton was really good, and now they just kept them down there. That was a really good play there, how they played with the wall, how they froze people down, and they get another claim. Dollar Fan has a chance if he can get the ult up fast enough to probably stall them out a bit more to gain more percentage, but I'm not sure if you want to push up that far. You can do it, but it could be dangerous as well.
It could indeed be very dangerous, but on that side they're going to actually engage with the sound bar. Oh, the thing gets caught.
That was an unfortunate. Now they had the sound barrier, now they're throwing out even the blizzard. Oh, they got Asters there who was trying to go off on the side, and that was a perfect split up thanks to that blizzard there.
Rare bit of miscommunication from Dramatic as Asters got actually very separated by the blizzard. Half his team decided to go back, he himself decided to go further in. Oh, that's a very good wall.
And now the Transcendence, now the grab, the Diva Bomb, let's see what happens. Oh, they lose strafeness to that one, unfortunately. Still, as you say, the tanks love to just stand in the Diva Bomb somehow. And Sir Gibson gets Danaby, so they do have a chance, and I like how they're now kind of moving back, but they did sacrifice their Brigitte for that one. The wall gives them a chance to hold through. The rally is now being popped by Chico, but right now they're at 90%. They do have a chance to reset after this one, since there is not that much on Dramatic, and the ult economy wouldn't harm them that much.
Yeah, the ult economy situation is very good for Water Brotherhood here, but Drake will flip a point. 17% in ticking now, but the 99% is a number I want to keep an eye on. Weefin is also going to have the rally, and they're coming up on a lot of big ultimates as well, so they really have a good chance of winning out this fight if they can survive this Earth Shatter and survive that beat.
Yeah, that's what will be one of the main things that could go out. The rally is now being popped. They're going in. They do get a stun on Asters. They do get a good grab. Can they take advantage of that one? The Shatter didn't save them that much, and that is a good answer there. And they're just taking them down one by one. And it looks like there is some life in Wash Brotherhood, and they're not really washed up with as they claim this map.
They are anything but washed up. That was a very clean round. Very clean ultimate usage, a few minor mistakes, but nothing that that could possibly cost them that point. And it looks like we're going to Night Market on our third point on Lijiang Tower.
Yeah, and this one a lot can work here because it is kind of an interesting spot in itself, because you have this little open space before the point, you have on the side. You do have the booping area around the point as well, and there is quite a bit of open space that a sniper can do a lot with it.
You can consider this point almost a culmination of the last 2 points we've played. You know, a lot of triple and quad DPS comps on this on Gardens, and a lot of Goats comp on Control Center. On here, you can play almost anything you can imagine, so it'll be interesting to see if either of these teams opt for a DPS comp, but no, they're both going to roll out on Goats with the side of Water Brotherhood actually keeping this Mei here.
Yeah, and I would feel like that could actually be a good idea because the walls weren't that bad most of the time. But unfortunately, now they're just getting victimized behind that ice wall there. And right now, looks like Dramatic are claiming the point once again for the start.
And Dramatic this time get a much cleaner fight. There's not really a chance for them to, come back in and sort the point before they really start getting percentage on the board. I don't agree with this May pick at all, though, because the differences between Control Center and this point, Control Center is a lot more compact. There's a lot more tight corridors, a much tighter entrance to the point. Whereas this point is way more open. There's a lot more ways to get in. The walls aren't going to get that much value on this map.
Yeah, and right now we see a bit of a fight. Asters does have a shatter already. Chico gets her Gibson there, so they have to be aware Asters is there. Dr. Fence gets frozen up for a bit. Hades is just barely holding on. And right now the fights are just breaking not really well for Washed Up Brotherhood, and WeFit is dead now, and now they just have to retreat. They lose Dollar Fan as well, and Hades goes down. They're just getting pushed right now.
Yeah, Washed Brotherhood are looking very out of practice right now. They look very lost at what to do. I'd recommend making a change of the May, maybe entirely swapping off this Goats battle just because of how entrenched this Goats comp is of Dramatic with the ult economy they have. And look at this as well. Froggy Dude's actually looking for a boop. That ace killed himself apparently.
Ooh, that was unfortunate there. This could be the chance what Brotherhood right near need, and you see them how they're just trying to take advantage of that. They're pushing forward. Asters goes down as well, and honestly, right now they've been playing it really opportunistic, and they're doing good with that one. They take down the Diva, and right now they should have a chance to claim the point. They just need the Brigitte, Chico on the Brigitte off the point, and now they finally get to claim it. But they did have to give up 77% for that one.
77%, and look at the ult economy as well. Yeah. They have this support on this, but there is a big 6-pack on the other side, so they're going to be fighting a very uphill battle here, but that good wall could be a very great way to start it. Grabs
both sides. There goes the Blizzard. A bit late in my eyes, but gets a good freeze on Asters there. Can they take advantage of that? Unfortunately, the Transcendence does save you from that one. The Shatter is... Both sides didn't really get off a good shatter. The point is still not being contested by either team, and right now it looks like Dramatic are just going to move for the point, and this could be really a deciding point right now how it's going to be faced. Broken gets a pick off. Hades gets Chico for that one. Diva Bump goes out. Nice Maywall there. That is a chance to actually buy some time for this one. And you just see the fight just kind of staggering on both sides right now. Both sides are trying to find an opening, and Danny B gets the pick off now, so now it's a bit in advantage. Get Hades as well, and right, Watery does get an answer, but unfortunately that is all they can do, and Dramatic claim the point once again, and now we're almost in final fight territory once again for Washed Brotherhood.
If I could go back and tell both teams to watch that fight and improve, I would tell Washed Brotherhood to watch their own positioning, because they were so separated. They were spread out across the point, which, while they were attacking from multiple angles, that's not what you want to be doing with Goats, and now they have to touch the point or this is game over.
The Earth Shatters out, and Watery was on the point, but he's already dead there, and they're not moving forward, and that is it, and Dramatic claim it and take the prize pool of 120 euros there.
120 euros into the pocket of Dramatic Gaming. Fantastic performance coming out from them, both on the Goats comp and on the more DPS heavy compositions. The 2-2 the dives, they were on point today. With that being said, side of Washed Brotherhood definitely were everything but washed up. They had some great moments. We saw Hades here on that Reinhardt swinging, bashing it around, getting whatever he wants with that main tank role, going wherever he wants, opening up all the space he wants. And both Reinhardts actually had a very strong performance on whatever they played, especially Asters on that Wrecking Ball as well we saw in Garden.
Yeah, and I think what you said, I think on Control Center was one of the most important parts, that the team of Washed Brotherhood couldn't keep Hades up most of the time during the whole matchup, and that kind of cost them, and I feel like there was a slight disconnect between both sides, that they couldn't really take advantage of that, in the case that Hades was there and was just being taken out, and supports couldn't give him the support he needed for most of the fights.
Yeah, and it comes back to what I was saying about stacking up and grouping up. You need to make sure that while in the fights you are focusing on the same target, you also need to keep an eye on where you're stood in respect to your team, because in Goats comp, a lot of the healing is area of effect. It's not able to be done at range. And as a result, if you're splitting from your team, if your team is splitting from you, you're likely not getting all the healing you can, and that's what happened. Hades wasn't able to be kept alive, whether it be mistimed bubbles, whether it be armor packs, or whether it be positioning. One of those contributed to Hades being picked off much more consistently than Asta's was.
Yeah. And both teams did a really good showing, and I would say congratulations to Dramatic. Both teams went through kind of a gauntlet because it was a high stack tournament with the players that we had here. There were a lot of people we've seen quite a few times, but there were some new teams in there as well, especially Wash Brotherhood. Hopefully they will come back once again because I feel like they showed quite nicely.
Wash Brotherhood had a fantastic performance, and while I'm not sure where Dramatic Gaming go from here, I don't know if they, I don't know if they have plans to stay together, if they have plans to separate, but regardless, if they come back as well, they will also have a very good chance of taking any tournament they take a part in. Like we've already said, both teams have a fantastic performance in this series, but as you mentioned, a lot of new faces, a lot of old faces. For all we know, there could be a future contenders champion within these games. As the path to pro system is. Who knows?
Yep, definitely. Any other last words? Anything you want to say before we now head off?
Well, if you guys want to take part in a tournament like this yourselves, well, be sure to, find us on Discord, find us on Twitter, find us on Battlefy as well. And yeah, you guys could be the next guys we see on stream here.
Yeah. So that's it from us. Thank you everybody for watching. Thank you Toadette for being the producer. Thank you Yokai for being here. Thank you Kat for being the referee here. Thank you everybody who was here anyway. And that's it from us. Goodbye and good night.